let's just be real. On this podcast with me, your host, Marissa Tong, we have real thoughts, real convos about adulthood, healing, self-care, wellness, entrepreneurship, and so much more. Get to know me on a deeper level as I navigate a new part of my life and share different perspectives from other millennials going towards their dreams. If you're ready to go beyond the surface, then sit down, relax, and let's get real. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast with me, your host, Marissa Tong. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode. I'm super excited to kick off today's topic. But before we jump in, I want to start by just thanking everyone who's taken a couple minutes to rate and review the podcast. I really appreciate you guys so much. Everyone who shared the podcast. I did my official announcement or launch last week on Instagram, and you guys had really shown up and shown out, sharing the post on your stories, tagging me, sharing with your friends. I'm sure that you guys will take a couple minutes either today or this week to give your girl a nice 5-star rating and share this podcast with someone who really needs it. Anyway, let's talk about today's topic. So as promised in the very first episode, I told you guys that I was going to dive into meditation. Meditation is something that has been a practice into my daily routine for the past, I want to say since January, February, definitely. Yeah, I want to say January. I want to say I started getting deep into meditation around January of this year. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about what exactly prompted me to start, how I started, how long it took for me to actually get into the benefits or see the benefits or enjoy meditation. And not to say that it's I don't know if enjoyable is the right word, but it's definitely beneficial. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more. So first, before I tell you guys my experience or what exactly I've been doing with meditation, let's first talk about what exactly meditation is. So when we hear of the word meditation, automatically some words that could come into our minds are stillness, quiet, focus, serene, right? Serenity. So if any of those words come into your head when we're talking or thinking about meditation, you're absolutely right. Okay. So meditation is a practice. Number one, it's a practice, right? Sometimes when we think about starting meditation or when we think about getting into that moment of stillness, there's a lot of resistance. Number one, because we're not used to being still. We're not used to sitting, for long periods of time. And let me just put this out here right now. Meditation does not need to be an hour. Meditation does not need to be 2 hours. Meditation does not need to be 30 minutes. For me personally, I found my sweet spot of 20 minutes. I would love to work my way up to 30, eventually 45, eventually an hour, whatever I feel called, right? Right now, with my practice and with my time and my schedule and with my attention span, not gonna lie, okay, 20 minutes has been my sweet spot. It's been perfect for me. So when we think of meditation, you don't need to be sitting there for an hour, and we're gonna talk about what exactly we want from meditation. What exactly are we looking for? So the whole purpose of meditation is to get into your conscious state of being, right? To sit still, to not tap into any physical feeling, so not moving any part of your body, not wiggling your toes, not wiggling your fingers, but to really just sit still and allow yourself to get more into your conscious. Okay. So the best ways to get into a state of meditation is to just choose the right setting. So your setting could be in your home, right? Maybe you have a favorite chair, maybe you have a favorite mat, a yoga mat that you just want to sit on. You could also lay down, you could be on your back. I personally like to lay on my back. It's just more comfortable for me. Or I'll like sit up in my bed. So it really just depends on what's comfortable for you. You don't want to be in a position where you're going to be like in back pain or your neck is uncomfortable. You want to get into a space where you can relax. Okay. That's like the main thing. You want to be able to relax your body. So once you start getting into meditation, the best way to relax your body is to breathe. Okay. So if you are starting meditation, I would definitely consider going with some guided meditation. So this is a track. It could be like a podcast or it could be a video on like YouTube, anything like that. I'm also going to have some guided meditations by me, hosted by me on this podcast. So the best way is to just find what works for you, right? When you're starting out, it could be guided. So this person is telling you exactly what to do. Relax your body, take a couple deep breaths, count for 4, whatever it is, right? And then that allows you to relax, right? Get more into a more calm state where now you could start tapping in to your consciousness, okay? So depending on the type of meditation or depending on what your goal is, right? If you are going for a guided meditation, there could be different themes. So if you are going for a guided meditation, there could be different themes. So you could be going for a sleep meditation, right? You're trying to fall asleep. So this person is literally guiding you through some exercises or some thoughts to get you more into that sleep state, that deep sleep, that deep rest. Or you can go for a guided meditation where you want to focus on gratitude, okay? Things that you're grateful for. You can do a guided meditation where you're focused on visualization. Oh my God, I can never say that word, by the way. And I feel like right now, my mouth is like watering. I'm so sorry, guys. Like my mouth is watering because I drank like this really tart tea and it was like a blueberry tea. And I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but my mouth is just like, nah. Anyway, so anyway, so you can do something that's more of like you're visualizing, it could be visualizing your future self, visualizing your dream job, visualizing your dream partner, right? Visualizing the life that you want to have, the new home that you want to have, maybe visualizing yourself on your next trip. So that's honestly one of my favorite types, visualization, just because I'm more of like a creative person. So things like that always just naturally happen for me anyway. When I'm working on choreography, when I'm planning my retreats, I like to visualize how is it going to look? How's it going to feel in my body? What does it look like, right? Before I go on a vacation, I try to visualize myself there, what exactly I want to do. So those are some really beneficial types of meditation for me, specifically visualization, also gratitude practices, abundance. So in the first episode, I had talked about the 21-day abundance challenge that I did with Deepak Chopra. And I'm actually going to link it. Some of you guys DM me and ask me for the link personally. So if you guys want that, I will definitely link that in the show notes today. And with that, I think that that was a really good start for me. And that's where I started in January. And I remember starting the meditation like day 1 and probably like day 1 to 5, I just cried. I cried. And it wasn't like a sobbing cry. It wasn't like I was sad about anything. It was more of just like a release. And this is what happens when you hold in so many like feelings and thoughts and you're just moving constantly and you're always busy and you're not really taking time to sit and just be with yourself and to really come to terms with like things that are happening around you, things that are happening also inside of you. We change so much throughout life, and sometimes we don't even realize the changes because we're constantly moving, we're constantly being distracted, we're constantly being occupied by things, by people, by situations. So the point of meditation is to allow yourself to sit and come to terms with your thoughts, with your feelings, with your desires. Okay. Meditation is meant to bring up those things, right? Things that sometimes we just internalize. For me, because the theme was abundance, I think I was, and you know what? Actually, like the theme is abundance for the Deepak meditation that I told you guys about, but he also like talks about other things as well. So it's not just like abundance, and I'm also gonna have a separate episode talking about like abundance mindset and all that. If you guys don't really know what that is or what that means, so for me, coming from a childhood or an upbringing where everything was like scarcity. Like we don't have enough for that, or we can't afford that, or money doesn't grow on trees, things like that. And I'm sure that those some of those phrases like are familiar to you. And growing as an entrepreneur and growing into this woman that I want to become, this boss that I want to become, this person that I want to become, this friend that I want to become, I had to, I'm saying had and have because it's like past and present, but I had to release a lot of that conditioning and wiring that I was brought up with. Once you start meditation, it's really hard to see your life without it. It is a practice, so it's not just something that you master in one day. It looks different for everyone, you know? Some people, they're able to sit and meditate for hours. Some people, they can't be still. Some people, they're very antsy. Some people, they don't want to go within. That's the thing. Like, that's the main theme of meditation, going within. And when you're someone who's so used to being surface and you're someone who is not used to being yourself and you have to just show up and always be someone else and just always put on a show and always put on a mask and always just pretend to be someone else, or not even that, like aside from that, you're always serving other people but not doing it in an authentic way. You get what I'm saying? So your job could be, maybe you're a teacher, right? And maybe you fell into that job. You don't really feel like that's your purpose, right? You just kind of fell into it, whether that's because your parents, you know, suggested that you become a teacher, or people said that you were good with kids, and maybe you just didn't have any other career interests and you ended up being a teacher. But on the inside, you're actually miserable with that job, right? So over time, depending on how long you've been in this position, you've kind of just numbed yourself to what you really want, or what your true desires actually are. So that's where meditation comes in, because with meditation, you get to really see yourself. You get to learn yourself, learn what you like. Like a lot of things are going to come to the surface. You start to see situations, you start to see people, you start to come up with ideas. Your creativity is sparked, right? And that's like a big thing for me. Like with meditation, like these ideas come up for me. I get a lot of like inspiration, and it comes from me. It's not coming from anybody else. Like that's the beauty of meditation. Everything is coming from within you. So my question is to you, how do you expect to grow as an individual or become a better person when you don't even take the time to sit with yourself? You can sit with everybody else. You can go to dinner, you can go out, you can party, you can spend time with other people, you can allow people to call or text you whenever they want. You can sit and you can scroll on social media all day. You can just always be in constant communication with other people, but you don't take 5 minutes to be by yourself and to sit with yourself. How does that sound? You know? And I'm not judging you. I'm not judging anybody who's listening to this. I'm trying to encourage you. This is why we need to meditate. And you might be thinking, okay, well, I pray every day. I do think that prayer is a form, it could be a form of meditation in a sense. It's more of a, because when you're praying, you're more vocal. When you're meditating in stillness, you're not really speaking, right? Like it's not your physical body that's doing anything. It's more of your mind. So when you're praying, it's more of like you asking for things. So when we talk about like manifestation, you're asking for things, right? So that's you more communicating with God. Where meditation, you're listening to God, right? So that's why meditation is so important, because it is a moment for you to listen. You have to be able to listen to yourself. That's where your intuition comes in. Back to episode 2, right? Was it episode 2 or episode 1? I don't remember. But back to, you guys can go back and check out. I think it was episode 2. Um Back to intuition, right? Like this is how we really get to tap in more into that intuitive side, because we meditate, because we know who we are, because we are listening to that voice within us, because we can hear our thoughts, because we can quiet out the noise. That's how you're going to be able to improve your life. I want to encourage you guys to definitely take some time for yourself, if not today, this week, to sit still and just see where your mind goes. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just like try it. If you've never gotten into meditation, or maybe you've tried and you're just like, I can't do this. I can't sit still. Like, I can't, like, my mind is everywhere. I'm thinking about going to the grocery store. I'm thinking about picking up my kids. I'm thinking about what I'm eating for dinner. I'm thinking about paying this bill. Like, that's why you need to meditate, because we're not meant to function on 10 all the time, or even 100. We're not meant to function on 100 where our brain is going like 1,000 miles per hour. Like, that's not, it's not sustainable. And that's how, honestly, you get sick. That's how you get sick. That's how you cause a lot of stress within your body, which causes disease, right? Which causes illness. So we have to learn how to manage, right? Um, I don't have a lot of the scientific benefits of meditation. I didn't want to talk about that today. I wanted to talk about more of like my experience with it, because I'm not a guru, and I'm not a like brain surgeon, but I would suggest that you guys look up Dr. Joe Dispenza. He is, I believe, a brain surgeon, and he talks a lot about the actual like scientific benefits of meditation, what your brain is actually doing when you meditate, and how you can change your reality based on meditation. Look on YouTube if you want a little bit more like textbook, details and information on meditation. But I definitely just wanted to share with you guys today like my experiences and what I've been doing with meditation. This is something that I also have been incorporating into my events. So if you guys are in Jersey and you're my clients, you know that we host events every now and then, whether that's a brunch event or a retreat. So usually at these events, we include like a sound meditation with my girl like Jasmine or someone else. So sound meditation can also be a good way to get into it, because it allows your body to relax more with the sounds and different frequencies. So there's so many options. There's so many resources. And I think that if everyone in this world meditated, like, it would just be such a happier place. Just think about it, honestly. Like, think about it. The best time to meditate for me would be like first thing in the morning. So once you get up, before you look at your phone, before you start making your plans for the day, before walk your dog or whatever the case, or you start answering a bunch of questions, take a couple minutes for yourself. Okay? Do it. Try it. Try it. I kid you not, like, your life will change. Guys, this has been an amazing episode. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to the entire episode. Make sure you guys rate and review. And also share this episode with a friend or on your social media. Don't forget to tag me. You can tag my Instagram at WristFitKitty. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Marissa Tong. And I will see you guys, or I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Enjoy your day.